And welcome into the WECT Digital Studio, everyone. Apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all corrected. I'm joined in here by First Alert Meteorologist Eric Davis.
The WECT Digital
as we
Studio,
come to the
everyone,
end, apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all corrected.
But we still
I'm joined in here by First Alert Meteorologist Eric Davis.
WECT
As we
Digital
come to
Studio,
the
everyone,
end, apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all
And
corrected.
we still
I'm joined in here by First Alert Meteorologist Eric Davis.
As we come to the end,
apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all corrected. I'm still joined in here by First Alert Meteorologist Eric Davis. As we come to the end, apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all corrected. I'm still joined in here by First Alert Meteorologist Eric Davis. As we come to the end, apologize for the technical issues we had. We've got it all corrected. I'm still joined in here by First Alert
melting. It's going to simply refreeze, and if anything, it's probably likely to get icier. And as you said, some of the travel problems may be just as bad or worse tonight versus what we saw last night.
And again, no further worries about any other precipitation.
No.
It's just cold temperatures now. And again, I know you have several of your graphics here. We're going to let everybody get an idea of what you're going to show us. But again, the cold temperature is really going to hinder a lot of the snow and the ice from melting, right?
Right, and even the cold temperatures in and of themselves, John, are a real issue. That's because we're talking about temperatures tonight. The forecast low in Wilmington is 16 degrees. That's, if I do my math correctly, that's 16 degrees below freezing, and you throw on top of that, there'll be a little bit of wind. You don't even need much wind. That's going to be enough to get our wind chill values into the single digits. So one issue, of course, is we've been talking about the slippery roads, but we also have to keep in mind that this is some of the deepest Arctic air that we've seen all winter. And boy, we've seen a lot of Arctic air this winter. But when you're talking about wind chill values in the single digits, that is dangerous. That is dangerous for pets. You need to make sure they're inside. You need to make sure they have warm bedding. You need to really check on anybody who doesn't have a proper heating source. And considering we haven't even been above freezing in quite a while, pipes become a bigger concern too.
Okay, we already have one question in our Facebook Live. Scheduled to fly out of ILM tomorrow at 6:15. Live in Teachie. Will there be any problems by then? Getting to the airport might be an issue first thing tomorrow morning. Who is that? I want to make sure I call him or her by the proper name, Kathy. Obviously, Kathy, check with your airline,
of course.
But you know, if they're leaving, say at 4 o'clock in the morning from Teachie, coming down, it may be a little dangerous coming down.
Yeah, I don't know what the plowing status is, and that may be a key. A lot of hopefully a lot of the plowing is done on a lot of the primary roads. Obviously, we know secondary roads are going to be a concern. Anything that's not maybe a major road or a highway is going to be a concern. But I know I don't know what the status is, but I know this afternoon. I think you know it's the same thing, John. Just driving into Wilmington, Carolina Beach Road, College. Still pretty icy out there, and if the road crews haven't gotten out there, I think, like you said, the biggest airport issue is going to be getting to the airport more so than your plane actually taking off.
Yeah, as we always tell people, make sure you check with your airline.
Right.
And if it's still, going to go, give yourself plenty of time to get to ILM, especially in Teachie, out there, rural areas of Duplin County.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. My guess is, and I haven't been out there, my guess is I-40 got a pretty good bit of attention, I would think
I-40 did.
From DOT, and so I would give yourself, though, plenty of time to get to the airport. Okay, Eric, I know you put some of your graphics together, a lot of the graphics you used in our newscast.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and punch those up and let you get to them.
Sure. And, of course, first and foremost, we've talked about this a little bit, but a cold weather advisory in effect. And, again, this is in effect because the National Weather Service expects widespread wind chill values below 15 degrees tonight. And in fact, we're even going to go a step further and say single-digit wind chill values are in effect. So again, this night is going to be every bit as cold as any night we have seen so far this winter. And boy, we've had some cold ones recently during the month of January. This night is going to be just as bad or worse than anything we have seen so far in terms of the cold temperatures. And obviously, what little melting we may have seen throughout the day, if you start to see some slushy roads. I know sometimes in the middle of the day when you get the sunshine, even with temperatures below freezing, you'll have some slushy roads. Well, when you're talking about temperatures dropping down to 15, 16 degrees, that's going to be a hard ice by the time we head towards tomorrow morning. That's why I'm saying some of the travel problems may be every bit as bad heading into tomorrow as what we've been seeing. And again, just a reminder of a cold weather advisory. Take extra steps to protect people, pets, plants, pipes, the 4 Ps. We've been talking about it a lot. definitely make sure you're doing that for sure. And ensure portable heaters are being used properly. Do not use a generator, obviously grills inside, and don't use your oven either as a heating source either. Now, snowfall totals. Let's take a look at this. Obviously, Whitefoot was the big winner, at least in southeastern North Carolina, with 6 inches of snow falling. I think I skipped over that graphic. Let's see if I can get back to that. But we saw Cerro Gordo. This is in Columbus County, close to 6 inches of snow. A lot of spots 5 inches, especially that corridor, western Brunswick County down into Horry County. You can see Ocean Isle Beach, 5 inches of snow. Even up in Atkinson, that of course is in Pender County, 5 inches of snow. Ogden, 4.5. Wilmington, in here at the WECT studios, solid 3 inches. White Lake, close to 4 inches. You get the general idea. We forecast 3 to 6 inches of snow. Have to say, not trying to pat ourselves on our back, but I think that forecast verified pretty well.
If you, Oak Island, and we talked yesterday with Gabe, if you get rain, and some towns get more than others, when it convert rain to snow, an inch of rain is 10 inches of snow. So
right.
A tenth of an inch of rain one place or another is an extra inch of snow somewhere.
Exactly. And especially around Oak Island, I know we had a little bit of sleet initially, so there wasn't a lot of contamination with sleet, but we did have a little bit of sleet mixing with the snow, but this was still primarily a snow event. Just to give you an idea, two daily snowfall records have obviously fallen as a result of the system. The January 21st and January 22nd daily snowfall records have fallen. We picked up just alone today 1.1 inches of snow at ILM. 2.6 was the total, so it was 1.5 yesterday. And just for perspective, John, in a normal year, if you average out all the years, in a normal year, Wilmington sees about 9/10 of an inch of snow per year. Obviously, we have many, many years where there's no snow, and then you'll get a few years like this where you do get a little bit. That's kind of how it tends to work out here in the Port City. And January record's 8.6 inches, and the annual record, 19.4. No surprise, that was in 1989.
You have something for temperatures coming up here soon too, because we're getting a lot of people asking about temperatures.
Yeah. We talked about the cold weather advisory. We'll have some more specific temperatures, and just a quick. I'll go through this pretty quickly. But again, mostly snow this time around. A lot of times in southeastern North Carolina, we get these mixed precipitation events. But this time around, because the air column was below 32 degrees, basically from the surface all the way up, it was primarily snow. Now we did have a little bit of warm air creeping in at some of the upper levels in a few spots, especially in Brunswick County. So a little bit of sleet mixing in a couple of spots, but again, this is primarily a snow event. And obviously, if you have a larger column of warm air, that's when you start talking about freezing rain. That's where rain freezes on contact. Luckily, we did not see a lot of that this time around. Here are the temperatures you were referring to. The model, we'll go ahead and advance it to midnight and take a look at these numbers. They're eye-popping, to say the least. We're talking actual temperature around 15 degrees in Elizabethtown. Look at the wind chill values, single-digit wind chill values showing up. That's why the cold weather advisory is in effect. And, of course, with temperatures as cold as we mentioned, I mean, we're going to be talking about anything that melted today will quickly become a brick tomorrow, a frozen brick. That's what it's going to be first thing in the morning.
Right, and that's the thing that people are asking about. What about the roads on Thursday? What about the roads on Friday? And here is the reason. Go ahead and advance your thing here. 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be 19 degrees. So nothing is melting.
No, not at all.
At this point in time. So the roads tomorrow, we're not getting above freezing, maybe except for mid-afternoon to late afternoon.
Yeah, we are going to have a brief window where we get above freezing tomorrow. But one of the things we actually had good today was we actually had a lot of sunshine.
Right.
We're not going to have as much sunshine tomorrow, even though we get the high maybe up 37, 38 degrees. Yeah, that'll produce some melting, but then you're going to have the cycle repeat itself again. You'll have some evaporation, but again, another very cold night. This Arctic air is not going anywhere, John.
Right.
You can see by Friday morning, we're still going to be talking about temperatures probably in the lower 20s. Maybe not quite as cold as what we're seeing this morning, but well below normal. And there you can see we're warming up to 37, 38 degrees tomorrow. That's as warm as it gets, but the clouds, as we mentioned, no precipitation, thankfully, in the forecast, in your 7-day forecast. This is the key here. You can see through Saturday morning, we're still talking about very cold morning lows. A little bit better on Friday. Hopefully Friday I think Friday's the day will really start to turn the corner. Maybe not completely in the clear by Saturday morning, but mostly probably so. And the weekend is when I think things will be completely well. Most of the snow will be gone, highs in the 50s, even some lows next week above freezing.
Yeah, and that's the key. We have, Amanda's asking here. Susan is asking here. Alicia is asking here in the Facebook Live. And that's the thing. We're asking about Thursday. Roads roads tomorrow. Not going to get very high above freezing.
No.
Plows are going to be out. They're going to be putting stuff on the roads. So it may improve a little bit, but we only get a couple of hours tomorrow over freezing.
Yeah, but what makes this system different? A lot of times, when we're talking about salt and brine on the road, that mainly works when temperatures are, I think, about 28 degrees or above. You saw our forecast. We're talking 19, 15 degrees. Brine solution it's just not going to help. Tomorrow morning, the roads are going to be treacherous. I think that's why you'll be talking about school closed here.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of schools are closed tomorrow.
One of the DOT workers told us actually on the air earlier tonight that exactly to your point is that when the temperatures get this low, the salt is going to work. It just takes longer to get its job done.
Right.
So tomorrow we've got a little time over freezing. Friday, as Eric just said, we're going to put this back up again. Friday, we've got 43. Still cold. Again, variable clouds, get some sunshine, but not as much as we had today.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at most southeastern North Carolina snowfall events, not that we get a lot of them, but normally what happens is you'll get a snow, it'll come in here, and the next day the temperature's 50 degrees.
Right.
And the snow's gone just like that. That's not happening this time because this is an unusually cold Arctic air mass that is persisting day after day after day and just not allowing the snow and the ice that we've seen to go away that quickly.
And we do know that authorities have closed off Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway in Wilmington from Carr Avenue to the Holmes Bridge. That's closed because, again, some of the more treacherous roads, they don't want anybody out on the roads at all. None of the bridges are closed at this point that we know about. So it's tough to say the roads are going to be good at this point in time. Expect them to improve a little bit tomorrow
afternoon, probably.
Right, tomorrow afternoon. Friday, you'll start to see, as Eric said, more of the higher temperatures, more of that.
Yeah, think of it. It's going to be gradual improvement. It's not going to be you're going to snap your fingers and the roads are going to be improving. It's going to be a very gradual process through the next few days to get things better, I think.
Okay, Adam said, I just got off work, need to get home, but I have will it be okay drive on 17 to Hampstead, plus I'm almost out of gas. Can't help you on the gas, but we do know if you just take your time. Both you and I had to go home last night after the 11 o'clock newscast. I took my time. I don't think I got any faster than 20 miles an hour last night.
Yeah.
And I know you were saying the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to go very slow, well below the speed limit. And obviously, do not follow any car in front of you too closely. You've got to have a huge amount of following distance, maybe 4 or 5 times what you would normally do if you had dry pavement.
Yeah, just have to be as careful as you can. Eric mentioned, and before we go, I do want to update the school impacts for tomorrow. We do know that New Hanover County schools are closed tomorrow. Brunswick County schools, Bladen County schools, Pender County, Columbus County, and City of Whiteville schools are all on remote learning. Give me 1 second while I go over here. So that is the public schools. New Hanover County, you get a snow day tomorrow. Brunswick, Bladen, Pender, Columbus, and Whiteville City schools, you have remote learning. Let me take one second and switch it to some of the colleges. UNC Wilmington, everything is closed tomorrow, as are Brunswick Community College and Bladen Community College, Cape Fear Community College, and Southeastern Community College in Whiteville. They are all remote learning. So that is an update on the schools. Hang on, let me get back over here to see if we have any more questions. I know Brunswick County is closed. Brunswick County is remote learning the rest of the week. Do you think schools will be open on Friday? That's a tough call. We know most of them are remote. Yeah. I would say the chances of the schools staying remote are probably pretty good at this point in time. But again, that's a decision to be made by the administrators.
Minimum, I would expect a delay, but probably close if I had to guess based on the
because
forecast.
Again, tomorrow we only have a couple of hours over freezing, then it goes down below freezing again. Let's pop this back up. The low tomorrow night, Thursday into Friday, 21 degrees. So we're getting well below freezing again tomorrow, well below freezing again Friday morning, below freezing Saturday. Not until Sunday into Monday do we have pretty much an entire day over freezing here, Eric.
That's right. And again, that's what makes this so unusual. We're used to it just snowing and then instant improvement. Not happening this time because of this prolonged period of very cold weather. I think it's just going to be gradual improvement each and every day.
Okay, that is an update here. We've gone 15 minutes again. Apologize for the technical issues we had. We hope we answered some of your questions. We will continue to follow everything here. Eric and the First Alert Weather Team will continue to bring you updates. We'll continue to provide that for you. An update on the roads. We have Delaney Tarpley. She's out on the roads tonight, keeping an eye on everything. We'll have an update on WECT News at 10 on Fox Wilmington, and we'll both be back there again on WECT News at 11 with Francis Weller. So, again, please stay safe. Please stay warm. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock.